Thank you, Madam G.E. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests, especially you, Peter. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. And some people think that this step is the biggest step. I think so too. So Peter, congratulations. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through this evaluation here, one item at a time. What strong points does the speaker already have? I hardly detected any nervousness from you, Peter. You have an enormous amount of confidence for a beginning speaker. I'm really impressed. Your voice projection too, superb. I think you established rapport with the audience very quickly. Next item, how well did the audience get to know the speaker? You talked about an experience as a child. You fast forward to the age of 19. You mentioned the influence of a movie with an American actor, and you mentioned your love of reading. So definitely we got to know you well. Did the speech reflect adequate preparation? No question about it. Wonderfully done. Did the speaker talk clearly and audibly? Yes, you did. And I've got more to say about that in a minute. Did the speech have a definite opening, body, and conclusion? Yes, it did. I want to give you a couple suggestions about the opening, though. Very, very important that you acknowledge the Toastmaster. Look him firmly in the eyes and shake his hand. Okay, it will really help you. Same thing with all your Toastmasters. Acknowledge them, look at them, and say the same thing with the guests. If this is one of the tips actually from the 10 tips that Toastmasters gives out, okay? So very important you do that. It will help you a lot. Same thing with the ending. When you end, don't rush back to your seat. Acknowledge the Toastmaster. Give him a firm handshake. Look him in the eye. It'll really help you end strongly. Please comment on the speaker's use of notes. You did not use notes at all. I was really impressed by that. But I don't want to discourage you from not using notes. I think it's acceptable to use notes. I'm using them right now. What could the speaker have done differently that would have improved the speech? Pause more. Pausing is a very, very powerful thing in speaking. Very powerful. You'll learn that as you continue to give speeches. Slow down. That's the next thing. Very important to slow down. Give the audience a chance to digest what you have to say. Because English is your second language, you need to articulate your words. And one of the most powerful things you can do to learn articulation is to read passages aloud. I do this with my children, actually. I make them read passages aloud. Read it preferably with a native speaker and let him give you some feedback, okay? Next thing. Okay, actually, one other thing that I want to say to you about what you can do to improve it. I'm going to introduce something called the speaking rate to you. A speaking rate is the number of words you speak per minute. Now, when you've got a speech like this, 4 to 6 minutes, the upper limit is 6 minutes, right? So let's say your speaking rate is 120 words per minute. 6 times 120 is 720. Take off 10% for pauses. That's a good measure. Okay, so you've got now about 650 words that you want to speak. If I had to do my CCE over again, I think a very important skill is to learn how to keep within the time limit, okay? Very important. The last thing, what did you like about the presentation? What did I not like about the presentation? You related a personal experience. Doesn't matter whether you come from China or Canada or India or wherever. Life is a shared experience. You talked about bullies. Believe me, I've had my share of bullies too. Preparation. I like the fact that you put a picture on every table. You didn't do it when you were speaking. Well done. I don't want you to wait too long to give your next speech. You've got momentum. Peter's only joined us back in January. He's been the timer twice. He's given us Icebreaker. Please give your second speech in a month or so. Good luck.